If you have always assumed that a cheap, overlooked truck on a Texas lot must be hiding something, that assumption is not unreasonable. Most buyers learn to equate low demand with low quality. And in a lot of segments of the used car market, that instinct actually holds up. But trucks are a different animal entirely. And the data backs that up more often than the showroom floor would ever admit. The What Car and RepairPal reliability databases, along with J.D. Power's initial quality study and vehicle dependability study, tell a very different story once you look past badge popularity and sales volume. Sales numbers measure what people recognize at a dealership. They do not measure what actually holds up over 10 years and 200,000 miles of Texas summers. Those are two completely different questions, and this list is built entirely around the second one. 7 trucks, all ignored by Texas buyers chasing the same handful of familiar names, all backed by real ownership data, published warranty claim rates, and independent mechanic surveys that tell a story sales charts never will. We start with the one nobody even considers cross-shopping, and we build from there into trucks whose reliability numbers are genuinely difficult to explain away. In 7th place, the Ford Ranger quietly does the job that most mid-size truck buyers actually need without ever getting the credit for it. Used examples from 2019 through 2023 trade between $18,000 and $26,000 in the Texas market, comfortably below rivals running the same 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, shared with the more expensive Ranger Raptor trim. RepairPal scores the Ranger at 3.5 out of 5 for reliability, a respectable number for a turbocharged truck in this price range, and average annual repair costs land around $600, close to the mid-size truck segment average. The known weak point on this generation is a wastegate rattle developing around 80,000 miles, an inexpensive fix running close to $450 at an independent shop rather than a dealership. Owners in hot climates report the turbocharger holding up well under sustained highway loads, which matters in a state where summer highway temperatures regularly exceed 100 degrees for months at a time. Ford backs the drivetrain with a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty on certified pre-owned units, and insurance costs sit in a moderate bracket typical for a compact turbocharged truck. Tow rating sits at 7,500 pounds, enough for most trailers Texas buyers actually pull, whether that is a boat, livestock trailer, or a small camper. Resale value on the Ranger has held remarkably steady over the past 3 years. A pattern car edge attributes to steady demand from fleet buyers who have quietly recognized the reliability numbers, even as retail shoppers overlook the truck entirely. Next, the Chevrolet Colorado picks up where the Ranger leaves off and adds a genuinely underrated diesel option most shoppers never even consider test driving. In 6th place, the Chevrolet Colorado from 2015 through 2022 sits between $16,000 and $24,000 used, with the 2.8-liter Duramax diesel version delivering close to 30 miles per gallon on the highway and a tow rating of 7,700 pounds. RepairPal rates the Colorado at 4 out of 5, one of the stronger scores among mid-size trucks from this era, and independent diesel shops across Texas report the 2.8 Duramax as one of the easier small diesels to service, with parts availability that has improved steadily as the platform has aged. The one issue worth knowing about is the cylinder deactivation system on the gasoline V6 version, which can cause a lifter tick developing around 90,000 miles, with repairs running close to $1,200 if the lifters need full replacement. Diesel versions sidestep that problem entirely since they do not use the same deactivation hardware. Basic warranty coverage runs 3 years or 36,000 miles from new and independent Duramax specialists across major Texas metro areas keep maintenance costs reasonable, with a full service interval typically running under $200. Owners who tow regularly in Texas heat report the diesel's cooling system handling extended climbs and trailer loads noticeably better than the gasoline version, an important consideration for anyone hauling through hill country in July. Here is where most buyers stop paying attention entirely, because the next truck on this list does not even look like a traditional truck, and that alone knocks thousands of dollars off the asking price. In fifth place, the Honda Ridgeline breaks the mold by using a unibody platform instead of a body-on-frame chassis, and the reliability numbers suggest that decision paid off in a meaningful way. RepairPal gives the Ridgeline 4.5 out of 5, the highest score of any truck in this countdown so far, and Honda's own warranty claims data shows notably fewer major component failures across the ownership period compared to body-on-frame competitors of the same age. Used examples from 2017 through 2020 run $20,000 to $28,000. The lockable in-bed trunk underneath the cargo floor is a genuinely useful feature no competitor offers. Holding roughly 7.5 cubic feet of dry, lockable storage that Texas buyers who tow boats or camp regularly have come to appreciate once they actually drive one. The one maintenance item owners absolutely cannot skip is the rear differential fluid change every 30,000 miles. Miss it, and the differential can fail, with replacement costing around $1,100. Stick to the schedule, and the Ridgeline runs with minimal drama for well past 150,000 miles. Tow rating is a modest 5,000 pounds, reflecting the unibody design, which is the trade-off for that reliability score, and insurance premiums tend to run slightly lower than comparable body-on-frame trucks because of the car-based platform's crash safety ratings. The next truck is not new. It is old enough that most buyers dismiss it before even reading past the model year in the listing. And that is exactly the mistake worth avoiding, because the mechanical case underneath the outdated styling is genuinely strong. In fourth place, the Toyota Tundra from 2007 through 2013, powered by the 5.7-liter iForce V8, trades for $12,000 to $18,000 in Texas, a price that reflects age and cosmetic wear far more than it reflects actual mechanical condition. This generation of Tundra routinely surpasses 200,000 miles with nothing more than scheduled maintenance, and it is common to find examples in rural Texas with 250,000 miles still running their original transmission and engine internals. The known weakness is a secondary air injection pump that tends to fail around 100,000 miles. A straightforward repair costing close to $400 that any independent shop can handle in an afternoon. Original factory warranty has long since expired on trucks this old, but Toyota certified pre-owned coverage extends protection on qualifying used units sold through Toyota dealerships, and independent Toyota specialists across Texas charge notably less than dealership rates for routine maintenance on this generation. Tow rating reaches 10,800 pounds, genuinely competitive with trucks costing 3 times as much. And the frame, a point of concern on Tundras from the prior generation, was redesigned for this generation specifically to address rust issues that plagued earlier trucks. Coming into the top 3, the numbers stop being merely respectable and start becoming genuinely difficult to explain away by anything other than the trucks themselves simply being excellent. In third place, the Nissan Titan is the truck 14,000 people bought last year, while almost everyone else walked past it for a Ford or a Chevrolet at the same dealership. J.D. Power scores the Titan at 81 out of 100 for dependability, ahead of several far more popular full-size trucks in the same survey, and the 5.6-liter Endurance V8 pairs with a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, the strongest coverage of any truck on this entire list. Used examples from 2019 through 2021 run $22,000 to $30,000. The most common complaint documented across owner forums is infotainment glitches, cosmetic rather than mechanical, along with rear brake rotor wear appearing around 40,000 miles, a normal wear item rather than a design flaw. Tow rating comes in at 9,340 pounds, and fuel economy, while not class-leading, is consistent and predictable across the ownership period, according to long-term owner tracking data. Parts availability has been a minor concern in the past due to lower sales volume, but that gap has narrowed considerably as more Titans have entered the used market over the past several years. For a truck this capable, being outsold nearly 10-to-1 by more familiar badges is difficult to justify on the data alone. And the 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty alone represents a level of manufacturer confidence that most competitors simply do not match. Second place belongs to a truck most Texas buyers do not even classify as a real truck. And that misclassification is the only reason it stays this affordable, despite topping the most rigorous quality survey in the industry. In second place, the Hyundai Santa Cruz ranked first overall in J.D. Power's 2024 initial quality study, ahead of every full-size and mid-size competitor in the survey, including trucks costing considerably more money. Used examples from 2022 and 2023 run $24,000 to $32,000. The 2.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder does show some carbon buildup from direct injection around 60,000 miles, a maintenance item rather than a failure, addressed through periodic walnut shell media cleaning that costs roughly $250 when needed. Hyundai backs it with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty for the original owner, unmatched anywhere else on this list, and rarely matched anywhere in the entire truck segment. The trade-off is a smaller bed than a traditional truck, roughly 4 feet in length, which is precisely why badge-focused and traditional truck buyers dismiss it before ever driving one. Tow rating sits at 5,000 pounds, enough for the kind of hauling most owners actually do, and insurance costs land notably lower than comparable body-on-frame trucks. Resale value has held up unusually well for a vehicle this unconventional, largely because supply remains limited relative to demand from buyers who have actually done the research. And in first place, the Nissan Frontier posts the single highest reliability score of any truck in this entire countdown. And almost nobody outside the ownership base seems to know it exists as an option worth cross-shopping. RepairPal rates the current generation Frontier at a full 4 out of 5, the top score among mainstream midsize and full-size trucks reviewed this year, and average annual repair costs land meaningfully below the segment average according to the same dataset. Used examples from 2022 and 2023 trade between $18,000 and $25,000 in Texas. The 3.8-liter V6 uses a chain-driven timing system rather than a belt, eliminating one of the most common failure points in modern truck engines entirely, since a timing chain, properly maintained, is designed to last the life of the engine rather than requiring scheduled replacement. Owners occasionally report an infotainment freeze requiring a simple restart and a faint timing chain tensioner sound at higher mileage that rarely develops into an actual failure, according to long-term owner tracking across multiple forums. Nissan backs the Frontier with a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Tow rating reaches 6,720 pounds, and insurance costs sit comfortably within the mid-size truck average. Owner forums are full of Frontiers, quietly surpassing 200,000 miles, with nothing more than oil changes and basic scheduled service, the exact pattern that defines every single truck on this list. And one Texas-based fleet operator interviewed for automotive trade publications reported running a small fleet of Frontiers past 220,000 miles each, with only routine maintenance and a single transmission service. If this kind of data is already changing how you look at a used lot, this is exactly the sort of breakdown worth staying subscribed for, because the reliability differences across trucks that look similar on paper are almost always larger than buyers expect once you actually pull the numbers. Across all 7 of these trucks, the pattern repeats itself in a way that is hard to dismiss as coincidence. The highest reliability scores in the entire midsize and full-size truck segment belong almost exclusively to the trucks Texas buyers overlook at the dealership or scroll past on a listing site. Sales volume measures what people recognize. It does not measure what actually holds up over a decade of ownership. A badge people trust and a truck that actually lasts are not always the same thing, and the ownership data across all 7 of these makes that difference plain, sometimes uncomfortably so for anyone who bought based on badge alone. None of these 7 require a leap of faith to buy. Pull the RepairPal score yourself before you go look at one. Check the JD Power ranking before you dismiss a Santa Cruz or a Frontier, because it is not the truck your neighbor drives, or the one your father always bought. The data on all 7 is public, current, and consistent across multiple independent sources, rather than resting on a single survey. If this list changed the way you think about which used trucks actually hold up in Texas, hit subscribe, drop a like, and share it with someone still shopping on a dealer lot this week. Comment below with the truck from this list you would actually go test drive first. The next hidden reliability breakdown is coming soon.